My name's Deanna Brooks, and I'm with Henry Glass. I've had lots of different phases in my quilting career. Owning a quilt shop, I did some consulting work for Shannon Fabrics. Then I did some things for Easy Fabrics in the Minky. And all during that era, I've stayed very committed to Henry Glass and designing my cotton collections. And so I originally worked with Harriet, and I think I wore her into retirement because she retired on me. And so now I work with Greta at Henry Glass, and she's not here at the show, so I'm giving all of my talent and complaints to Karen, and she's like happy to deal with it. And I said to her, I was talking to the bosses and people, and I said, well, you have to take this because Greta's not here, so you're the next in command. And she just said, well, lucky me. So let me just get rid of my chunky gum here. So I brought my few things in, and I sat up and I said, don't worry, ladies, this is just going to be the hokey pokey. So when I do quilting, it's just kind of like the hokey pokey show. You just get what you get, and sometimes you throw a fit, but that's okay, you can do that, and then you come back. So what I decided to call this class is a few of my favorite things. And in doing that, 6 months ago, I didn't quite know what was going to be all of the favorite things, because as me, like you, things kind of evolve and change, but here's kind of the first little segment about my favorite things. Red dots and ribbons with fat quarter fittings, making an apron, a topper, or hot pads for mittens. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored muslin, crisp sharpened scissors, wall hangings, playmates, and Diet Coke fizzers. Chocolate and coconut diamonds and rings. These are a few of my favorite things. Paisley, Ellie, Hannah, Laney, and Carson. Bentley, Kelly, Jersey, Hagen, and Mason. Grandkids and all the trouble it brings. These are a few of my favorite things. When the day bites and life sends a sting, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, like fabric, my family, my friends, all good things, and then I don't feel so bad. So all of our favorite things just help us to get through all the different moments. And if you followed me as a designer, you can see that a box is not what I fit in. There is not a box big enough, angled enough, sideways enough. And Henry Glass is the perfect fit for me because they all just kind of roll their eyes at me and say, okay, whatever. Because I'm just so eclectic in the moods and the world and the moment. And so my fabrics have all come from a phase of life or a segment or a memory or a place that I've been in a time in my life. And so I'm going to feature just a couple of little clips and things that are basically current and have just arrived or just going to arrive, future things to come. And so maybe those will start to incorporate some of your favorite things. Now I know when you opened your little brown box all tied up with string, you may have looked in there and thought, she is a kook, for sure. So as I do my favorite things, and as you look in those boxes, I will tell you what each one of those little things inside of there are and why they're my favorite things. So the first thing is just a little bit about the Little Red Hen. This was shipped. And if I could get a couple of holders, Karen, and maybe Lisa, or did Lisa go? Okay. So this was the free project for this collection. I did change a few of the fabrics because I don't even follow my own rules because I just break rules. And so that's the free project, just as a recap of what it is. You can print that and download that pattern on the Henry Glass website. The next thing that I wanted to go into a little bit was my table toppers. And I've had a lot of fun doing these table toppers, and I think I've really come on to something really great. And I'm sure that maybe all of you have already done this or heard this or thought of this, but I felt like, wow, I've got to do this, because I just did something really great. So what I did is I took a fabric, it's a solid fabric, and I did a complete different fabric on the back. So I have a double-sided table topper because I use these a lot in my decor in my kitchen, on my bar and my table. And I was always doing companion fabrics on the front and the back. And I decided, it's kind of crazy to spend the time and the effort in doing a Halloween, and all it is Halloween, when I can do it every day. The only thing you have to do is kind of have your binding match both sides, and so you kind of want to coordinate. So to kit those is a great option for you to take a yard square of fabric or a yard and a quarter and put 2 bundles together and have your binding all wrapped up on it and have that so you can move that. The next thing I want to go into is how to use panels, because most of my collections do come with a panel, and oftentimes it's like, well, what do I do with a panel? So this is the new release of Tinsel Toes that is just shipping. So I took this and just made for my dining table a runner using 2 panels, flipping them and just putting this piece of fabric here. And making it so that I could have a long runner for a table or for an event, using it that way. And then I've done taking a partial panel, because this panel came so that you were able to create little mini projects and pillows and things like that. So I took just a section and created a panel of a runner and just put borders on it and did it simple that way. Okay, so another thing that I've been doing is I've been doing my own quilting, and I'm really getting good. I mean, look at how good this is. I just do so many projects so fast that my quilter's like, whoo! So I thought, well, I'm going to start doing some of these little things. So I use a Hera marker. Do all of you know what a Hera marker is? Everybody here knows. Okay, because I have been all over St. George, and they think I've come from outer Bolivia in asking for a Hera marker. So it is, let me look in my travel bag, the gypsy bag here. This is a Hera marker. And what it does is it creases your fabric. So you don't have any markings that you have to deal with or wipe off or iron off or any of that. The best way to use this is to get your quilt top ready with your batting. It marks best when you have a batting or some kind of a surface under it. If you try to lay it directly, just fabric on a board, it's very hard to get your creases in there. And so it does work better. This is an awesome tool to support in your stores and your classes. Teach people about it because it doesn't leave any markings and you're able to follow your trace lines. When I do these little toppers, I do them about 36 square, and I mark it from the center down, and then from there I measure off on each side, 2 to 3 inches. I started doing 1.5. Whew, I was really sewn away. So then I went up to 2, graduated to about 3 now. So it's coming along really well. I like my camera lady trying to keep up with me here. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to show you is this is a little piece project I've been working on with my new collection. So this is just showing you a project in the work, it's in the progress. So this is my backing just brought around so that my edging doesn't fray and my batting doesn't get dirty and all that kind of stuff. So I just bring it over and do a quick basting. Then what I've used is the DMC Pearl Cotton number 8. And if you look in your box, you got one of these. So this holds the DMC number 8, and I've drilled a hole in the top you pull your thread through the top, and then you don't have it unrolling in your bag. So these you could order from, I just got mine online at a vending store, and buy them and kit them and send them out to, it's a great, I got one for a gift and I couldn't find any more. And then I was able to figure out with my genius ability to look up in the computer. And so you can get, I know, I'm a genius, it's real. So then you can get these and do them in a little sewing bag or something, or sell them in a little cellophane and have your customers love them, because they can get a 6, 12 and put all their threads and get all organized so it looks really great. So that's one of your favorite things in your box. The next thing is, this is called the Playmate. And so this is for my grandbabies. So when my granddaughter comes to play, she gets to play on this one. And of course the little toy velcros and unattaches. But then when my grandson, well, I don't really have a grandson baby, but I will probably, he gets to have this one. And so it's just kind of a little play, it's that same little topper idea. I really just went to town on the idea. And so I just was like a factory going all kinds of different ways. So it's just fun how you can create, you get in the motion and, whew, yeah, just keep it going. Okay, the next thing is, that I want to show you is the new collection that's called Ta-Da, and you got the brochure on that. And what they're doing with this is, really, I think at first I was kind of like, really? Wow. They sent me this, what I called a rag top. And they said, can you quilt this and make it really cute? And I took it and I looked at it and I went, I don't know. So this is what they sent me. And it is really cute. I did it. But if you ordered the entire collection of Ta-Da, this is a pre-printed digital quilt on one solid piece of fabric. And then my quilter and I decided how to quilt it to bring it to life. So it is a digital image of the free project that you can piece and make from the collection. I don't have any fabric yet, and so I couldn't piece the project to show you. So this is something that you will get as a free item to get for your shops or for you to have to coordinate with the collection when you order the whole line. And it does quilt up really great. So that's kind of a kickoff on that one. And then the next thing is, many of you know about see how we are on time. Many of you know about my last collection in an LDS-inspired line, which was called Follow Me. And so I did do it in a minky version. And so if you look in your little box, you see the Clippies. So the Clippies, this is really great. I'm really giving you girls some real, and men, some really great stuff. These are at Dollar Tree, and they are the most awesome little clips when you're doing your bindings, because they're thick enough for your heavy fabrics. What I've done on this is just brought the front over to the back, and it's a raw edge, and it's just got a serpentine number 4 stitch on my Bernina on a 4-leg, and it's just done on a turn. But this way, when I used to do this with pins and I had it all over my lap, as I would turn it, it would be the wake up calls of whoop, whoop. You know, so now these, I don't do whoop anymore, I just do woo! so this is just a great way to hold this binding on in your place. And you can use it for lots of different things to clip your projects together. So they're really awesome. I went to this store and I bought like 52 packages, and the lady was just like, you know, I think she looked at me and thought I was going to Overeaters Anonymous and clipping all my chip bags or something. She just kept, looking at me, and finally she said, "Oh, you must be a DIY," and I'm like, "Yeah, am I ever?" So anyways, they have lots of different purposes, but that's a really great idea. So you do have one in your little box so that you can look at it and remind yourself about that. So my grandson I have 3 that have had baptisms in the last couple months, and so this was his baptism quilt. And then I made a church bag, or a backpack, or a play bag, whatever you do. And this was done with cotton, and because the cotton was just so limp, when I used one layer, I actually just, because I'm so avid of a quilter now on my home machine, that I did this little quilty thing and did the 2 pieces of fabric. This is measured, each piece is 15 by 17, and then you just lay those on top, whether you're using a canvas or a cotton, and then you feed the thread through one side all the way back around and come back, and then start on the other side and go back, and then it does a drawstring so they can put it on their backs and wear it for backpacks. And these are great for summer family reunions, or I've done them for all my grandkids and put their letters on the front of the bag and different things like that. So they're simple ways to just create a lot of fun things. And then this was a quilt I did out of Follow Me. And so this is a collection of most of my prints from past collections. This was from Little Red Hen, and the dot was from Little Red Hen. And then it just coordinated into the line of the collection. So that one is that. So I forgot to do Tinsel Toes is releasing next month, and this is me. And my daughter said, "Mom, you think you're that skinny?" And I said, "Well, there's this girl over here. She's a little bit kind of, look, maybe I've slimmed down a little bit." So there's like lots of phases of us. But so this has Christmas cakes, and then all the little pixies for the little pixies of Christmas that do all the little projects. So this one's just coming next month, I think, or the end of this month. Or, yeah, May. We're in May. It's coming this month. Okay, so there's that one. Then I'm allowed to show you the next collection for my LDS line. So this is Brad. Nobody's seen it. You're the first to see it. And this, oh, nice little crinkle on her face. Good. This is called Promises, and it actually has 2. It has a baptism book. Obviously this will be fabric, but it has the pages that go through the baptism book. It says, "Hooray, I'm 8. Hooray, I'm 8. Isn't it great? I'll be baptized soon. I just can't wait. When I kneel and say my prayers each night, I ask for help to choose the right. I will learn about my family tree. It's my important, and it's called my genealogy." Then on this page, they take a fabric pen or embroidery and put their names and their grandparents' names on the family tree. And my family is so special to me to be together for eternity. When visiting Grandma, it's so much fun, especially when the baking is done. That's kind of more me. When I'm with Grandpa, whatever we do, it doesn't matter because I love you. My baptism day is finally here. When I enter the water, I have no fear. I will write about my special day and thank the Lord when I pray. And then you put their name, the baptism date, all of the information is all written on here or embroidered on there. So it's kind of a little bit of a memory book too. Receiving the gift of the Holy Ghost is the gift I treasure the very most. So I take the sacrament each week, promises, covenants, the Lord I'll keep. And then the Lord is my shepherd. I'll follow the light and always try to do what's right. So that's going to be a little book. The collection is going to have the young women panel, the baptism book, and then the coordinating fabrics will be in these prints right here that go with it. So that will come out on fabric cards, so the rep should have it in July. It will be a 2017 release to come to the stores. Okay, now, is there anybody that had any questions? I saw a hand go up at one point. Okay, did everybody get a card? And did everybody get a handout? Do we still have handouts? Okay, did everybody get a card? No. Handed in. If you didn't hand us your card, we're doing giveaways.
On her podium.
On the podium with the microphone. Right here. All of them are right there. If you are interested in a handy business card, you can come on up. I made these, and I actually am working on a DIY blog right now. So it's going to have a lot of tips. I've been doing a lot with the ruffle fabric. I had a grandbaby after 6 years. So I'm like this newborn grandma again, you know. So I had this herd of them. It was like having ducks, like they just were, it was like I would go and here they would all come. And now I have this new one, and so it's like the other ones are sort of getting pushed out of the nest. So I'm reinventing myself as a grandma, and I'm even better with age, you know. So I'm doing all kinds of really awesome stuff, and I'll put something on my Facebook, and everybody's like, how do I send me that, do that? And so I'm going to start doing some tutorials. I also have a 6-year-old granddaughter that is an amazing sewer, seamstress, quilter. She got her first machine when she turned 6, and she's done a couple little videos for me. And I just should have had her come and do a little segment for you, because she's like a little mini me, but she's even better because she's 6 and adorable and darling. And so she gets all the neighborhood kids and lines them up, boys and girls, and she threads needles for them. And she digs through my trash, and she takes stuff home, all of her treasures. And I'm just like, that is just garbage. And then one little kid made this thing. Oh, it's just hilarious. He put this little piece of fabric on his finger, and it had a thing hanging. And she said, that is dumb. What is that? And he said, it's a cape for my king captain finger. And then she was like, well, you have to give me that because I gave you the fabric. Then she thought it was like, wow. And so they sew all this stuff together, and they sit out on the sidewalk, and my daughter takes pictures, and it's just kind of pathetic, but it's so cute because she just sets it all out, and then they just rummage through stuff, and they just love all kinds of whatever. And she came to my house, and she took my box of fabrics. She started all my scraps, and she started putting all the pinks in a row. And all the greens, and I have them in this box just chucked because I got to quilt as fast as I can because I got another something I want to make. So I'm just throwing stuff over there, and she's just laying it out, and I thought, wow, that's kind of some good stuff. So anyway, so she's going to be doing some little tutorials and some stuff too on my blog, and I think it'll be super fun.